We got it
Window
right.
and them are not here yet.
Well,
You want me to just start with the
we'll
reorg?
just start with the reorg, and those guys can suffer.
Should we do the pledge?
That doesn't come until
The
after.
meeting.
I'll text Claudia.
He probably thinks it's 7:30, so he'll probably come at 7:30.
All right, should I leave him?
Yeah, leave him home.
Probably sleeping, that old guy.
We're not getting out of rhythm now. We're gonna,
That's right.
let's hit it.
We're on fire.
You ready?
Fire.
No fooling around. Okay. Resolution needed naming M&T Bank of Cold Spring as the designated bank in which all town officers shall deposit monies for the town of Philipstown.
I need a motion on the resolution authorizing M&T Bank.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
Resolution needed authorizing the supervisor to deposit town funds in one or more NOW accounts, money market accounts, and/or certificates of deposit, providing that deposit allows monies to be available or come due in a timely manner to permit the town to meet its financial obligations.
I get a motion on the resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
Resolution needed compensating for use of automobiles in the performance of official duties at the rate of 56 cents per mile.
Could I get a motion on the resolution for mileage?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
A resolution needed scheduling the town board monthly meeting be held at 7:30 PM at the Town Hall, 238 Main Street, Cold Spring, New York, on the first Thursday of each month, except when the same falls upon a legal holiday or due to extenuating circumstances, in which case the regular monthly meeting shall be held upon the following Thursday or such day as shall be determined by the town board at a regular meeting preceding such legal holiday.
Can I get a motion setting the town board meeting time and place?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
Resolution needed declaring that items for the regular town board agenda must be submitted no later than the Friday preceding the first Thursday of the month.
That's a good one.
Dio, you're not kidding.
Could I get a motion that we'll try to do that this year?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
Resolution authorizing the town board to hold monthly meetings at various locations in the town.
Need a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
Resolution needed that the town board may meet every Wednesday evening at 7:30 PM at the Town Hall, 238 Main Street, Cold Spring, New York, to discuss and act upon such business as may come before the board.
Could I get a motion establishing the workshop?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
Resolution needed designating the PCNR as the town's paper of record, and simultaneously, all legal notices and similar items of information will be sent to the Highlands Current.
Motion on the designation of the two local newspapers.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
Resolution appointing O'Connor Davis LLC as town auditors at an amount not to exceed that set forth in the 2018 budget.
I gotta get a motion establishing the auditors.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
Resolution needed naming Supervisor Shea to act as budget officer for the town of Philipstown at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2018 budget.
Could I get a motion on the resolution?
Get paid for that? So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye, accepting. Thank you.
Resolution appointing Susan Kenny as the Assistant Budget Officer at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2018 budget.
I get a motion on Sue Kenny as comptroller and assistant budget officer. Or actually, it's just budget officer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Thank you, Sue.
Resolution authorizing Supervisor Shea to appoint Sue Kenny as comptroller at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2018 budget.
Can I get a motion on that resolution?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
Resolution authorizing Supervisor Shea to appoint Ann Gallagher as confidential secretary to the supervisor at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2018 budget.
We're glad to have Ann. Could I get a motion on that resolution?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
Resolution authorizing Supervisor Shea to appoint Maureen Etta as safety coordinator at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2018 budget.
And our thanks to Maureen Etta for this. Could I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
Resolution needed setting petty cash funds as follows. Town clerk tax collector not to exceed $450. Superintendent of highways not to exceed $100. Board of assessors not to exceed $65. Recreation department not to exceed $450. Code administration not to exceed $50, and justice court not to exceed $200.
Can I get a motion on the resolution setting petty cash funds?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor? I vote aye.
Okay. Resolution appointing Supervisor Shea as a voting delegate to the Annual Association of Towns meeting and naming Town Clerk Miranda an alternate delegate in the event Supervisor Shea is unable to attend.
Could I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
Resolution appointing Tina Miranda as Registrar of Vital Statistics for the town of Philipstown and that her compensation is the fee allowed by law.
Okay, could I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Tina.
Resolution appointing Greg Warner as Code Enforcement Officer, Zoning Administrator Officer, Floodplain Administrator, and Fire Marshal at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2018 budget.
Got his hands full. Could I get him? Okay, have to have an extra rack. Could I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. We're lucky to have Greg. He's a breath of fresh air.
Resolution appointing Robert Emmerich as Deputy Code Enforcement Officer at a rate of $35 per hour for fiscal year 2018.
Bob Emmerich, The Rock. Could I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
Resolution appointing Linda Valentino as Clerk to the Code Enforcement Officer at a salary not to exceed the amount set forth in the 2018 budget.
Tell you, we're lucky to have Linda. She's a really lovely person. Could I get a motion on the resolution? Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're not keeping you awake over there, are we? Just a little.
Resolution appointing Tara Percocello as Secretary to the Planning, Zoning, and Conservation Boards at a salary not to exceed that amount set forth in the 2018 budget.
Can I get a motion on that resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
That's a busy position. All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Our thanks to Tara.
Resolution appointing Susan DeStefano as Clerk to the Assessor at a salary not to exceed the amount set forth in the 2018 budget.
Could I get a motion on that resolution?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
Resolution appointing Adam Hoteling as Deputy Highway Superintendent at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2018 budget.
Got a good bunch up at Highway. So things are smooth sailing now. Could I get a motion on Adam Hoteling's position?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Resolution appointing Maureen Etta as Clerk supporting the Highway Department at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2018 budget.
Get a motion on Maureen's position.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
Resolution appointing Terry Fleming as Clerk to the Highway Superintendent at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2018 budget.
Get a motion on Terry Fleming's position.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
Resolution appointing Annette Flaherty as Clerk to the Town Justices at a salary not to exceed the amount set forth in the 2018 budget.
Can I get a motion on the Clerk to the Town Justice position?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
You're not quick enough with the button.
Resolution appointing Kelly Bosco Frisk as Clerk to the Town Justices at a salary not to exceed the amount set forth in the 2018 budget.
Could I get a motion on the second Clerk to the Justices?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Our thanks to Kelly. She's another really valuable employee.
Resolution appointing Mark Follow as Town Historian.
Every time I'm out walking down the Foundry Park, I see Mark.
Really?
Oh, he's out and about all the time. Could I get a motion appointing Mark Furlow as Town Historian?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. There we go. Here's one for
Here, yeah, I know this is a mouthful. Resolution appointing James Loeb, Adam L. Rod, Stephen Gaba of Drake, Loeb, Heller, Kennedy, Fogarty, Gaba, and Rod, PLLC, as counsel to the town of Philipstown, to serve at the pleasure of the town board, to advise the town board planning board, zoning board, and handle special land use issues. Said attorney to be compensated at a rate of $175 per hour to represent the town board, $175 per hour to represent the zoning board of appeals, $600 per month to represent the planning board for general services, advice, and attendance at meetings, and at the rate of $185 per hour for time to be charged to applicant matters.
Can I get a motion on the town attorneys? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
Resolution appointing Robert Cinque as counsel to handle various litigation matters, including tax certiorari litigation, and shall be compensated at the rate of $125 per hour plus out-of-pocket expenses.
Could I get a motion appointing Bob Chinquay?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
Resolution appointing Robert Cinque as counsel to the town attorney to handle code prosecution and advise code administration office at a rate of pay not to exceed that set forth in the 2018 budget.
Could I get a motion on that resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
A resolution needed appointing Tina Amorando and Joan Klaus as marriage officers.
Could I get a motion on the marriage officers appointing? What's that?
He asked me if we're keeping Joan. She
Oh,
wants, yeah, she still wants to do it.
She gets such.
Yeah.
Good. Next time I get married, I'll have her do it.
Oh, just get married again. Never do it, just for the heck of it.
Okay, could I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
Okay, it's up to you there.
Again?
It is with great pleasure that I appoint Councilwoman Nancy Montgomery as deputy supervisor. Will you accept?
I'm so honored, yes.
Okay. There, I'll,
I'm knighted. Hail.
hello to the deputy clerk.
Okay, you guys don't say anything.
We're good at that.
Town Clerk Miranda, I hereby appoint Teresa Crawley as Deputy Town Clerk, Deputy Tax Collector, and Deputy Registrar at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2018 budget. And now, since we have that new hire, I'd like to appoint Allison Shea as a Deputy Town Clerk and Deputy Tax Collector.
Great, thank you.
Okay, the next one. Resolution appointing Mark Galazzo, Chairman of the Conservation Board.
Could I get a motion appointing Mark Galazzo chairman?
So moved.
I doesn't even know what's happening. Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. A big thanks to Mark and the whole Conservation Board. They do a lot of valuable work.
Resolution authorizing compensation for the Garrison School Crossing Guard as per budget allocations not to exceed that set forth in the 2018 budget.
A motion on the crossing guard.
So moved.
So moved.
Second. Got three firsts.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
Okay, resolution appointing the following to the Continental Village Water District. Ralph Bazignani as superintendent, Diane Barton as water tax collector. There's a vacancy. We have a Steve Leclerc as an assistant water treatment plant operator, and Stan Houghton as an assistant water treatment plant operator.
We really got to start thinking about succession planning down there. These guys have been there since I've been here, so 16 years. All right, could I get a motion appointing the Continental Village Water District officers?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Okay, resolution appointing Michael Fallon, Ralph Bazignani, and Vincent Sestone to the Continental Village Water District Advisory Committee.
Again, a lot of long-time service from these people, so our thanks goes out to them. Could I get a motion on that resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
A resolution appointing Michael Fallon as superintendent of the Continental Village Park District.
And Mike Fallon has been there as long as I've been here, and probably well before.
They were here when I started, and I've been here 24 years. So,
Well, our thanks to Mike. I just hope somebody's in training. Yeah. Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
resolution appointing the following to the Continental Village Park District Advisory Council: Mike Fallon, Ralph Bazignani, Vincent Sestone, John Sullivan, Frederick Romer and Tony Galfano.
Are there only 6 guys who live in Continental Village? Because the names keep coming up over and over. I hear a motion on the resolution for the Park District Advisory Council.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
Okay, the resolution setting the recreation pay scale for 2018 as follows. Sport directors and managers, $8 to $1,800. Youth assistants, $9 to $15. Adult referees, umpires, $15 to $30. This is per hour. Youth referees and umpires, $9 to $15. Scorer, timer, $9 to $15. Equipment handlers, $9 to $15. Preschool and after-school directors, $12 to $40. Assistants, $9 to $15, and custodial, $9 to $15. Then we have the camps, clinic, theater per hour, $10 to $30. Certified teachers, $10 to $30. Youth assistants, $9 to $15. Specialists, $20 to $65. Park facilities maintenance, $9 to $20.
Making a motion setting the rec pay scale for 2018.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
Okay. Resolution setting the 2008 rate for part-time, full-time stenographers and part-time, full-time clerks as follows. This changed up a little bit because Tara now covers all the boards. We have Ryan Allen at $16.50 an hour. He works at the recycling center part-time. We have Lillian Mosier, school crossing guard, $20 an hour. Nazim Baksu, school crossing guard for $20 an hour.
Can I get a motion on the resolution setting hourly rate?
So moved.
Second.
Did
Second.
Ryan get a raise this year?
You want to jump Ryan up to 17 or?
Yes.
All right, can we make that motion based on Ryan Allen getting to $17 an hour? I don't think that'll break the bank.
You could just take it out of Mike's pay, he's not here.
That's true. Can I get a motion with that modification? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
Resolution appointing Anthony Moranti as chairman of the planning board.
And he just keeps coming back for more.
How long is
It is with pleasure that I would entertain the resolution appointing Andy Moranti as chairman planning board.
Yay, Andy.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Thank you, Andy.
Resolution appointing Robert D. as chairman of the zoning board of appeals.
Bob D. is really taking the reins
Earned his money the other night.
at the ZBA, and he's, does in-depth research, so our thanks to him. Could I get a motion appointing Bob D. chairman of the ZBA?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
Resolution appointing Max Garfinkel as wetlands inspector and natural resource officer.
Max had some big shoes to fill with the passing of David, so he's done a terrific job. So could I get a motion appointing Max Garfinkel, wetlands inspector and NRRO?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
Resolution appointing Robert Ferris as dog control officer.
Motion appointing Bob Ferris as dog control officer.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Next one is yours.
Supervisor makes the following appointments to council members, liaisons to the following: Highway Committee, Councilman Van Tassel; Planning Board, Councilman Flaherty; Land and Building, Supervisor Shea and Councilman Van Tassel; Zoning Board, Councilman Van Tassel; Conservation Board, Councilman Leonard; Village of Nelsonville, Councilman Van Tassel; Village of Cold Spring, Councilwoman Montgomery.
Okay, I've been doing it the last few years.
So we will switch that up. Councilman Flaherty as liaison to the Village of Cold Spring. Continental Village Park owner, Continental Village Property Owners Association, Councilman Leonard. Haldane School, Councilwoman Montgomery and Councilman Van Tassel. Garrison School, Councilman Van Tassel and Councilwoman Montgomery. We're just going to switch that up a little.
I was just thinking that.
The committee, we'll keep appointing them. I still do confer with Philip Kotenak, Nat Prentice, Libby Anderson, and Donna Padala. Recreation, Councilman Van Tassel. Butterfield Library, Councilwoman Montgomery. Information Liaison, Councilwoman Montgomery.
Can we add liaison to the Philipstown Communities That Care Coalition on
Sure.
there?
Zone 2.
It's a monthly occurrence. Then
Philipstown.
some.
Liaison to Philipstown Coalition for Communities That Care, Councilwoman Montgomery.
Thanks.
All right, with that, you have your
Do
appointments.
you want to make it official that Nat is chair of the Comprehensive Plan Update Committee?
Sure,
We
let's
really-
throw it in.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
We're going to add Nat Prentice as chairman of the Comprehensive Plan Update Committee.
They're meeting right now.
Are they?
I think so.
That's good.
Okay.
Update Committee. CP, the
And that
CPUC.
committee, you know, lots of volunteers come and go as the document gets developed, so
All right,
they're breaking up into committees now themselves, smaller committees. It's good.
okay. Holiday schedule.
Okay. Resolution approving the 2018 holiday schedule. January 1st, New Year's Day.
Check.
January 15th, Martin Luther King's Day.
Monday.
February 19th, President's Day. March 30th, Good Friday. May 28th, Memorial Day. July 4th, Independence Day.
That's good.
September 3rd, Labor Day. October 8th, Columbus Day. 11/6, Election Day. 11/12, Veterans Day. 11/22, and November 23, Thanksgiving. The day after Thanksgiving must be charged to comp or vacation time. And December 25th, Christmas Day.
Okay, could I get a motion approving the holiday schedule?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
What is it?
Woo-hoo. Could I get a motion to close the reorganizational meeting, January 11, 2018?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
I didn't hear from Claudio.
It's Claudio.
Claudio. No, is it?
That's what Phil Weiss calls him.
Claudio. Oh,
Is Claudio coming?
do you think?
Oof.
So what do you want to do? Want to do this next month for him?
If he's not here, we can't do it without him.
Right.
Maybe he's running late. Well,
No, he's not coming.
oh, he's not coming. Okay, he just found out. Okay, sorry.
We could do it next Wednesday.
Could,
You have a meeting anyway.
we could. Let's do it next Wednesday if it's okay with Claudio.
Wednesday.
We can do it next Wednesday.
At 7:30.
Prompt.
7:30.
Don't be late.
Yeah, don't be late.
Give him a break.
Old time.
Well, I got a couple minutes.
I guess
Clock's,
it-
clock's a little
We
fast.
probably didn't tell him that the meeting was canceled last week. No, no, just don't worry about it. No, don't worry about it. We'll do it Wednesday.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Because we need how many members? We need 2 from the Depot Theater Board, right?
We do. We usually have, is Bob Bickford still on the board?
I don't know.
I don't think he is.
We need 2 members and generally,
2 members from the theater board anyway.
Nancy, there's a few pages in that book, if you could sign it. There's 3 of them you have to sign.
I hope he's not on his way.
well, if he
gonna
is,
call him.
he's gonna be disappointed.
No.
Tell him we're already disappointed him for not getting it together.
Yes, please, sign parchment.
Hey, don't rush down here. We'll just do it next Wednesday.
I'm good, thanks.
The set. Yeah, you need a second person from the theater anyway, right?
You get me a beer?
Yeah. Yeah, you know what, this
Why, thank you. Thanks for thinking of me.
was canceled. Yeah. So, sorry. I'm gonna run and call you later because I'm sitting. at
You're
the
not running
meeting now.
anywhere.
Okay. Yeah, bye-bye. No, what do you mean nobody's here?
You're
what
here.
are we?
People who had to be here.
Meet everybody. This is Joe.
Meet the regulars. It's like Cheers here. It's like Cheers in here every month.
I'm sure it is. Let's see if I can do this without soaking everybody's face.
I'm impressed, thank you.
Would you like one, or you got
I
one?
have.
Got a lot of practice.
You want one, Bob?
No, I'm good, thanks.
All right, I'm taking this one then.
That's why they have
Lucy's
long
in,
necks
drink
on
one.
bottles, so you can get more in your hand.
Oh my God.
It's true.
Those
That's
big
it.
bottles to whoever we get the water from.
Teresa does it mostly. She carries two. It's one on each shoulder. Seen her do it. That's why if I'm ever down to Depot and I have a couple, and Teresa can always throw me over her shoulder. Carry me up the hill, at least get me up to Fair Street.
There's three of them.
All right, let me finish with Claudio.
Are you finished with Cloudy?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's
What?
cloudy out here. You missed one.
Well, supervisor usually misses one, the deputy should miss a couple. Hey, Roberto. We ready here? You gonna keep monkeying around?
That's it.
So, if you'll join us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Here we go. First meeting of the new year. This is exciting. Are we going to do John's swearing in?
Whenever you want to.
We might as well start off with that, right?
I'll get my camera ready.
There we go. We're going down in front.
Down Kevin's Bible.
Is that the,
Find the one that Joe Benicassi gave. Yeah, well, that one of my contracts gave my mother. That's my hair. We're gonna face the camera, I'll get over on this side. Get here.
Hold the mic in front of you.
Hold the mic in front of you.
Just go by the mic.
We're usually not allowed to touch the mic. Is this okay? Can we touch it now?
See, throw it.
Permission to touch the mic.
Except I'm talking.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
You're talking too. Okay.
I'm just
Ready?
looking handsome.
Ready.
Left hand.
Left?
Bible.
Jeez, what am I doing? We could get it out in front. You want to do we do like a country western thing here? We can lean into it.
Raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, John Van Tassel,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of the councilman
the duties of the office of councilman
in the town of
in
Philipstown,
the town of Philipstown,
county of Putnam,
county of Putnam,
and state of New York,
and state of New York,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities. Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Get to work.
Congratulations, Johnny.
Now we're going to have an hour of Bible study. As we generally do, we have a swearing in. Town meeting. Oh, yeah. You did good, kid.
I'm good.
All right, committee reports. Conservation Board. Mike is not here, so we will not be getting that. Recreation.
The Recreation Commission has not met in the month of December. They had some issues, but they will be meeting January, the last Tuesday in January, which would be, I don't know the exact date, but I can tell you in a second.
Last Tuesday in January.
John, pull the mic.
Oh,
Last Tuesday in January is the 30th.
30th.
the 30th. That's when they're scheduled to meet, 7:30 at the Recreation Department.
Philipstown Coalition that Cares.
Philipstown Coalition That Cares will meet the third Thursday of this month. I'm not sure the exact location. We move it around. It may be in Garrison, but I will let you know.
All right. Thank you. Planning Board.
Planning board, okay, I've attended the planning board meeting on December 14th at the old VFW Hall. Typically, the planning board does not meet in December, but due to a lot of activity these last year, they decided to meet. First thing on the agenda was the return of escrow of Vista 44 LLC, which is the Garrison Cafe. Under new business, Lake Surprise Camp has an applicant seeking an amendment to the site plan. They're looking to do improvements for vehicle and pedestrian traffic to increase safety and circulation, as well as stormwater management improvements so to preserve the quality of the lake. The board determined this to be a major project. A site visit was planned for January 7th, but due to the inclement weather, that visit has been postponed. It's probably going to be rescheduled for the next coming weeks. Old business, 1657 Route 9D, Christopher Buck's property, the old Patterson estate. He's been through the planning board the last few months. Anyway, that was a table due to the process of they're looking to get approval from the New York State Historical Board. So that's before they move forward, they have to get this approval from them. So not much going on there right now. Also, Robert Miller Aztec, which has an automotive building down on Route 9 in Garrison. They've been before the planning board several times the last few months. There was a site visit back in November. There was some concerns at the site visit about the actual asphalt and the pitch of the asphalt that it is. The concerns about the dripping of any fluids that come out of cars that may be parked there. So anyway, that was a concern that the board had. They're scheduled for a public hearing, which is on January 18th, the next planning board meeting. Hudson Highland Reserve, as everyone that's been for the planning board for the last several years, there was a pretty lot of discussion on the last meeting regarding that applicant. Anyway, the EAF Part 3 was completed. There was a lot of discussion back between the planning board and the applicant, and as well. So, like I said, a lot of discussion. There was a lot. So they determined that they're going to have a public hearing as well for that on January 18th as well, which is coming up next Thursday. The meeting was adjourned at 9:15. That's it. End the report.
Thanks, Bob.
The coalition meets on Wednesday. Sorry, I think I said Thursday.
Okay.
Misspoke.
Zoning Board.
The zoning board met on Monday, January 8th, and it was a long meeting, lasted till 11:30, so.
I was watching a football game. It's a really good game on that.
Thanks, appreciate that.
Sort of best part.
I will just, I will briefly try to repeat what happened, but there was a continuation of the public hearing for 50 Vineyard Road, which took up a majority of the night. That's the cell tower proposed on Vineyard Road. There was some back and forth conversation. They're planning on trying to meet with the homeowner, the property owner of Vineyard Road, and see if they can relocate the tower somewhere. And then they were going to schedule them back for another short public hearing on at the February 12th meeting. So that's to be determined. There was a review for completeness for WHUD, who's also replacing their tower at 22 Sky Lane. That application was found incomplete, and they're returning next month as well. Review for completeness for David and Ann Provan, 200 Jaycox Road for a side yard setback. They were complete, and they were scheduled for a public hearing on February 12th. And then there was a public hearing, which was also lengthy, for Essex Green on Douglas Lane. This public hearing was also continued to the February 12th meeting, so that'll be another marathon.
Good for you. Gives you something to do.
Oh, yeah. That was a long one, for sure.
Highway.
Highway, from Philipstown Town Board members, from Carl Fazenda, Highway Superintendent, work performed by the Philipstown Highway Department for the month of December. He starts out with Happy New Year. The Highway Department hopes everyone enjoyed the holidays. Winter is officially here, keeping the highway crew busy clearing all roads. The first snow event on December 10th brought roughly 5 inches of snow and was followed by a little clipper storm shortly thereafter. With overtime on Christmas and New Year's Eve day, roads were quickly cleared with no major problems. As a reminder, during the winter, residents are asked to remove their vehicles from roadways, and if clearing driveways or walkways, do not push snow onto the roads. The Highway Department received approximately 15 calls regarding road complaints and other road issues in the month of December, and the Highway Department has spent roughly $5,200 in vehicle maintenance for the month of December. Carl Frazenda, Highway Superintendent.
All right, thank you, Carl. Thanks, John. Building and Land. The building department has moved to the annex Things are looking really good over there. The next focus is obviously Town Hall. I've started meeting with the comptroller to see how big of a bond we can get for this building, what we can afford to do. We're going to be bonding out for at least $1 million. So we're going to do substantial work to this building.
Speaking of this building, I spoke with Anthony from Comfort Master today about the heating and cooling issue. He was here today. He's coming back tomorrow to try to.
Seems like something got resolved.
Yeah, something definitely got resolved.
This is not-
That thing was running all day
Yeah, it's not,
yesterday.
not 90
Well,
degrees.
it's warmer out as well, so
Well,
it's not
that's
calling
true.
for heat. So
Yeah.
he's going to come back tomorrow and try to work on it some more. But he feels he can do some tuning in the boiler as well as some alterations up here. He actually shut the air off going into there because it was so hot.
Oh, that'd be like a sauna back there.
Right. So he's going to continue to work out.
All right. Look forward to big improvements here, though.
We could use him.
Yeah. Cemetery Committee, since Councilman Leonard is not here, we will not have that report. Putnam County Legislator.
I'm not sure. Last I talked to her, she was attending.
All right.
But the old building department, what are we doing?
Well, I mean, we could clean it up for now,
Put a
and if we want to
computer
use
in
it as a place for conferences or for council people to go and sit down and
Do some work?
do some work,
Sure.
that'd be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, take a look in there. I'll tell you, the building next door couldn't be nicer. I'll
Oh,
tell
yeah,
you.
really nice.
They really did a
Nice
great job there.
Yeah.
All right, on to the agenda.
Okay. First item is a progress report for the Climate Smart Communities Incentive presented by Roberta Muller.
That's you. You're up.
Should I?
Do you
Step up
mind
to the
stepping
mic,
up to the
please.
mic? Thanks.
Don't touch it.
No, you have to ask permission to
Sorry.
I think you're good, though.
Is it okay if I raise it a little
Got
bit?
this reputation.
Just step up,
whatever.
it's fine. It'll-
Basically, Mike Leonard suggested that I attend a meeting to talk about the possibility of municipal staff serving on our Climate Smart Communities Task Force. So that was the reason that I asked Tina to put me on the agenda. So I guess to have a discussion about it, or just to bring it formally to the
So
board's
in what
attention?
capacity do you see this person, just to sit in on meetings and be aware, or?
So the Climate Smart website from New York State had a suggestion of, so definitely having an elected official sit on the task force, which Mike volunteered to do. Yeah, no, where is he? So
that's
anyway,
good.
that's good. He said he's happy to do that. But beyond that, they were also saying it really helps move the project forward when people who really know what's going on day to day are able, if they have the time, to sit in on the task force in a monthly meeting. Not necessarily having to do additional organizing work, but to at least be present, so then when all of us are having these conversations, we don't have to wait a couple days, for example, to ask someone who knows. For example, from the highway department, if we're working on a project that involves roads, building inspector, if we're doing things related to home energy efficiency, that kind of stuff. So it's more so if you guys think of folks who might have the free time, that's probably mostly it.
Well, there's not a lot of free time, I do know that, but I think it might be better to start developing something, and then we could have, say there is something that involves highway, we get that person to sit in on that particular meeting.
Okay, like project by project.
Yeah, and if we have
Maybe, yeah.
something that involves buildings, or if you feel like the building inspector is necessary, then he could come in, or someone from the staff could come in over there.
Okay.
But I think that's a better approach, because you don't want to have someone from highway sitting in on a buildings meeting, or vice versa.
Right,
I don't think
yeah.
it'll be that effective.
Yeah, it might be a waste.
But,
of
yeah,
time.
but they could definitely, because we don't drag people out for academic reasons besides you guys, because you're setting the course. But I think it would be, better service if we, get things going and then
Yeah, bring in
project
people as
makes-
required.
as required.
Would probably
Okay.
be the best thing to do.
So we have a large group of volunteers that are interested.
Right.
About 10 or so folks, a little more, who want to be on the task force and commit to once a month, and then probably an hour to 3 hours of volunteer work each week.
Wow.
Hopefully, yeah, we want to try to get moving.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of work to do.
Yeah.
But obviously, it'll depend on the project. Some folks, for example, have expertise in building science. They won't be involved in something that like bike paths. Or another project is community education, so going into the schools might vary from organizing an event at the library or something like that.
Right.
And I think what's great is we're getting a couple business owners on board as well to join the task force, and Nancy's been helpful with that. Also, the Chamber of Commerce, I think, is going to volunteer one person to sit in with us to be kind of a business liaison to then disseminate information to the businesses around.
Great.
So I think we're good to go. This was just the last question to make sure that we weren't leaving anyone out.
No, it doesn't sound like you are. I did have a good conversation with Jason Angel today, too, about the possibility of getting a grant. And then we're also going to raise some additional funds for your stipend because we've approved one amount, but I think with the amount of time you're putting in, it's already feeling like we're going to have to raise that a little bit. So.
And I spoke with Europa about the Climate Smart Communities grants, which become available. They have a window from like May until the beginning of July.
Right.
So the idea, she says, is to have everything kind of lined up and prepared by that time, then submit the grant applications, and then we know by the beginning of July. They're all 50-50 matching grants, so we'll still have to do a lot of work finding the other 50%. But she said, for example, a stipend for, for my time, et cetera, could be parceled into that.
Okay. Well, any support you need from the board, letters of support, anything like that.
Probably most of it in the end will be, we need project-specific information. So if we're doing the EV charging stations grant, we'll have to sit down and figure out how many feet of conduit we have to run, all of those details, so that we can actually, have everything that they want.
Yeah, we'd love to get one at the building department because
Yeah.
we have a pretty big parking area now, and
That'd be a perfect spot for it.
Yeah.
it would be.
So anyway, that's the update.
Do you have a set date for the once-a-month meeting? Is there a?
No, I was waiting until
Get the
we had this
committee
conversation,
together
and now I can go back to everyone and say, yeah, we're good to go. So then it's just a matter of finding a weeknight that works for everyone.
Right. All right, well,
And if you have any recommendations, or obviously Mike, his presence is essential, so we'll base it to something.
yeah, I would consult with Mike and see what's convenient for everybody. Try to get, you're not going to capture everybody every time,
No, that's not gonna happen,
but something that's.
they need space, maybe they can use the old building department space.
Yeah, you could always meet downstairs if you wanted, if that's more
Is
convenient.
there a conference room? Or?
Well, we're just talking about setting something up in there. It's not the,
It's not the greatest thing in the world, but
Cool,
it's,
yeah,
it's a
that'd be
room.
great. Yeah, if we could fit
If-
about 10 people.
Oh, yeah,
There are
easily.
other places in the community, like tonight, usually the Comprehensive Plan Update Committee meets here, and they couldn't, so they went to Winter Hill to meet. The Recreation Department's always available, the library's always available.
Winter Hill is a nice meeting space.
That's a nice place to meet, and I'm sure they would love
Yeah.
your cause, so.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think that would be a problem either.
I think that you might be able to access the grants that were awarded last year on the website too, if you want to, if that's a way to get prepared for.
That were awarded to other communities?
other
Or-
communities.
Okay,
I
right.
thi-
Yeah, the hardest part actually, Europa's been, maybe because of the holidays, she's been reaching out to other coordinators from a bunch of communities that have achieved certification. And one finally responded a couple days ago, but it's still been a struggle trying to get them to.
So what is she looking for from them? What their
Oh, no,
grant
I wanted to
application-
personally talk with them
Uh-huh.
just to pick their brains about their experiences. So like the Village of Dobbs Ferry has gone all the way through. I think they reached bronze certification. Town of Cortland, Orange County, but then also to talk with like City of Peekskill, City of Beacon, just because they're so nearby to see what they're working on.
Yeah.
Because some of the projects can overlap for municipalities, so there can be, like a combined project that you
And
work
you're
on.
more likely to get the grant award if you do.
As well, yeah,
if you
for sure.
reach a
If there's
broader
collaboration.
Regional area.
Yeah, and I mean, the only way that's going to have a large-scale impact is if it's a regional approach, so.
Right.
I mean, we're going to do our thing here, but,
Is the Village of Cold Spring getting involved, piggybacking on the top of this, or?
They're
they seem
we
reticent.
had a meeting with them. Yeah,
for
we
some
brought
reason,
it up.
I don't know why.
I was there that day, I just they were kind of.
Yeah, we're gently bringing it forward. But yeah, they definitely know about it. They've had time to review. There's a lot of information when you're first introduced to the Climate Smart program that can seem overwhelming, as I'm
Right.
sure you guys know. So slowly easing them into understanding the commitments in terms of time and what's involved. And also how being a village within a town that's already applying for it will make it a lot easier versus just going out on your own.
Right, that's what I got from.
Yeah. So they're also invited to sit in on our task force meetings just to observe and get comfortable with the process. And if any one of them want to sit in and like commit to being on the task force, they're also welcome. But I know they're overworked, as they explained. So
Yeah.
Well, exactly.
Go cry to somebody else.
Roberta, we have our water quality study meeting with Michelle.
Yeah, I saw
Smith,
that's
so if you're interested,
next week,
yeah.
right? Yeah. A lot of that overlaps with the
Yes.
land trust, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So we're going to revisit that. We've already done one aquifer study, but it's 10 or 12 years old, or maybe even older. We want to broaden it and revisit it. Well, thank you. Thanks for the update. Things seem to be going great. Hello, Eric.
Thank
How are you?
you.
So thanks a lot, and just I'm sure we'll be stopping in at meetings and getting more reports.
We'll do. Yeah, more to read.
Yeah. Thanks, Roberto.
Okay, the next item is a resolution accepting the resignation of Edward Berticiato from the Continental Village Water District effective January 1st, 2018.
Huh. Why would you ever leave that? Can I get a motion accepting Ed Barticciato's resignation from the CV Water District?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? And I vote aye. Thanks for years of service to Ed. It's been there for, again, as long as I've been on the board.
Okay, next item is resolution setting the rate of pay for the coordinator of the Philipstown Climate Smart Community.
All right, what was approved in the budget is $400 per month, but we're going to see that Roberto gets at least 500. We'll approve the 400, but I don't care if I have to take it out of my own pay. We'll put it in at 500. So we'll set it for 400 and then with a raise, I'm sure I can raise the additional $1,200. But right now, could I get a motion authorizing the budgetary amount that was set at 400 with the understanding that I will personally raise $1,200 toward this?
So moved.
Motion, second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
Thank you, Richard.
Okay, the next item is a resolution setting the rate of pay for the Philipstown's Prevention, Treatment, and Recovery Coordinator.
What did you decide?
Well, the rate of pay is $10,000 stipend, but I think we should go for an hourly rate of 24 an hour, which would come out to 8 hours a week, and that would get us through the year. And that's a substantial amount of time
Yeah,
for someone to work on.
All right.
So $24 an hour, we'll call it.
So with that in mind, could I get a motion on the resolution setting the pay for Philipstown's Prevention, Treatment, and Recovery Coordinator at $24 per hour?
Not to exceed 10,000.
Not to exceed $10,000. Thank you.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
No.
So we're already ahead of the game. Nobody's working on it.
They are working on it,
Things
believe
aren't
me.
getting any better, that's for sure. So we have a workshop next Wednesday. So unless somebody's got something pressing, let's just leave it at that for now. We'll see if Mike's back.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be back.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Feeling better.
Yeah. So we're meeting next Wednesday. That night, it's going to be with the Highland Land Trust regarding the aquifer study, but we're also doing, what are we doing? We're going to do the Philipstown
Theater.
Depot Theater Corporation and,
We're gonna try to set a workshop for a public hearing
No,
for the.
we're going to set a date for the public hearing on.
set a date for the public
Yeah.
hearing for the safe storage law.
Yes.
If Mike's back.
If Mike's back.
If Mike's
Okay.
back.
So
7:30?
7:30, be there or be square.
And then who else are you meeting with? You're doing something.
Well, we're having the
Water.
aquifer study,
That's right.
so we'll go into that. Busy.
The next item is
busy.
code enforcement monthly reports. Okay, $13,491.83 were the fees collected. 20 total number of permits issued. 3 alterations, additions, or repairs to residential buildings. 1 addition, alteration, or repairs to commercial buildings. 16 all other permits, pools, sheds, decks, plumbing, HVAC, etc. 22 COs issued, 2 stop work orders issued, 2 inspection of public assembly, and 2 inspections of commercial occupancy. And that was for the town. Now for the village of Cold Spring, $1,676 were collected, 5 permits were issued, 54? Yeah, I think it's 4.
Yeah, it could be 54.
4 addition alterations or repairs to residential buildings. 1, all other permits, pools, sheds, decks, plumbing, HVAC, etc. 3 CO issues, and that is it.
All right, Greg continues to expand our services, providing great service out there, so thanks to Greg Warner.
So the next thing I'd like to add is a resolution determining the FOIL appeal that the town received. And that'll be a roll call vote.
Okay, we have a FOIL request with regard to the cell tower application. To our knowledge, we've given them everything we could. I don't have a lot. We don't have a lot between us. There's just not a lot of,
Well, it's denying and approving certain parts of the appeal. If you go down to now therefore be it resolved, that the appeal is granted to the extent that the town clerk shall forthwith provide or otherwise make available copies of minutes of all meetings of municipal boards of the town of Philipstown pertaining to Homeland Towers and/or property at 50 Vineyard Road. The appeal is denied in regard to the request for tapes, videos, photographs, and notes pertaining to meetings of municipal boards of the town of Philipstown pertaining to Homeland Towers and/or the property of 50 Vineyard Road. The appeal is further granted to the extent that the town clerk shall forthwith provide any and all such other non-privileged emails and correspondence as the town may have, if any, pertaining to Homeland Towers. The appeal is denied in regard to the request for documents related to the town's dismissal of Ron Grafe, as it appears that no such documents are in the town's possession. And I just received one additional email today. No, just from Nancy,
Oh, okay.
the response,
Announcement
so.
about a meeting.
all right.
That's a roll call,
Well,
vote.
our thanks to the clerk for gathering all this and getting this together. This is just a shot across the bow from Homeland, big deal. Go ahead. Could I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Councilman Flaherty,
Aye.
Councilwoman Montgomery,
Aye.
Councilman Van Tassel.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Shot from radar. One mess with radar. Do not mess. Anything else from the town board? I don't have anything right now myself. Anything from the audience? Good news. Vacancies, I guess we have one on the Continental Village Water District and one on the Rec Commission.
Yes, we still have one.
Okay. Approval of vouchers, general.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Highway,
So moved.
second.
Second.
All in favor? And I vote aye. Continental Village Park District.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Continental Village Water District.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
That's a record.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. That is nowhere.
Reorg and town board.
No way is that a record, though. Tina's seen, when Billy used to be supervisor, he would go away. That's when we had the records.